I friends with the wind, or will I bend to its whim? I regret to admit I'm just not meant for all this. Finding myself, but somehow turn to hiding. Laugh for a spell, but it won't hurt to quit. Think I must have been stripped down to my skeleton wings. Every upcoming sin's already etched on my skin. Finding myself has somehow turned to lying. Telling myself that I deserve to quit. Can't erase my yesterday, or the still to sends my way. It's my time. Gonna learn to fly, fly. I'm not friends with the wind, doesn't matter, I'll make my own breeze. All my feathers will sing along in perfect harmony. My heart is to flutter, even at the clear blue horizon. Now all of my colors decorate the skies above. Can't erase my yesterday, or the stealth that sends my way. It's my time. Gonna learn to fly, fly. I won't erase my yesterday. I won't erase my name from my mistakes. It's my time. I have learned to fly, fly.
Testing, mic check. Cinnamon buns, cinnamon buns, cinnamon buns. Hello, friendos. My name is Nez, and we are once again back at it again for some more Arknights, because today we're gonna be continuing our story reading of episode 15 of the main theme. Have we recovered from the last time? Because so much shit happened since we started episode 15 and it's only been like a couple chapters. Recap of everything that's happened since the start. One more epilogue. I swear, bro, just one more Londinium Saga epilogue. Just one last. And then we wrap things up. And that we did. We wrapped up the story with Theresis. I was actually surprised that we addressed Theresis this early into whatever new saga we're on. But yeah, sure. Everything with Theresis and the Sarkaz and Victorians all wrapped up. Neat, tight bow. Nom Nom, the original Originium, now in the possession of Gazdel. of the Sarkaz as a nuclear deterrent against all the other major nations. That's that setup. We saw a mysterious girl, Hierda, die of oripathy and yet get revived onto a spaceship called Rhodes Island. There's that. She also met a little robot called Ray Distorter. A robot called Ray Distorter on a spaceship called Rhodes Island? What does that mean? Hypergriff, what did you mean by that? I don't know. And then we also got some more setup on Rhodes Island in that PRTS, the system managing the whole system of Rhodes Island, has been going haywire for about 3 years now. We had a 3-year time skip since the Londinium saga. And we're basically at the start of every other major plotline in the side stories. We got to catch the start of some major plotlines. It's also a year after Path of Life. So, Terra should be aware of the true history of the world, plus Ager, because they told everyone at the Vatican after pinging them up at the end of Path of Life. So this is a year after that. But externally, that doesn't really matter because we're dealing with shit on Rhodes Island. PRTS is going haywire. Almost the entirety of Rhodes Island has been evacuated, but most field operators were just sent out to the branch offices, and most non-combat personnel have been evacuated from Rhodes Island on a renovation. We're renovating Rhodes Island, but it's an excuse to get everyone out of danger while we investigate the void, the abyss. The abyss, the secret deepest part of Rhodes Island where they pulled out Oracle. And whatever is going on with PRTS, you gotta investigate it. So, Kelsey's headed down there. Not sure I should be worried about her because I still genuinely don't believe that they'll ever permanently kill off a playable character. They might take Kelsey out of the equation, out of the story of Arknights for the next year or two or so. I got zero belief that Hypergriff has the balls, even Lowlight. I got zero belief that man has the balls to even kill off his own OC. Zero belief. Nothing within Arknights' 6-year history has told me that they have the balls to permanently kill off a playable character. They tried it with Shu, they brought her back 5 minutes later. They tried to fake us out with Eblana. She never really died to begin with. It was a hoax. Fake news. However, with Kelsey's probably the one person in Arknights that has the highest chance of having one playable character. The one playable character in Arknights with the best chance of having a permanent character death. However, I believe in the Arknights writers. I never doubt them. I 100% believe in their ability to write a good story, and I don't think killing Kelsey off before her story is finished is a good story. So they're probably gonna take her out of the picture, bring Monster in just to replace her, but eventually, I don't know, maybe in 2-3 years or two, we'll get Kelsey back as an alter. We'll get her back with her Bloodline of Combat skin. I am a Bloodline of Combat believer. They are 100% canon, minus Scotty, because Scotty. And we already know how Kelsey will leave Rhodes Island. We know her final moments with Rhodes Island. Not how she dies, but how she bids farewell to the Doctor, to Amiya, the Imperionic Delia, which is also coming soon. So we've seen her last conversation with Doctor and Amiya. It's not gonna happen in this chapter. Fuck no. I do not believe that. Bloodline of Combat is canon. You can't tell me otherwise. Bloodline of Combat spoiled us some monsters' existence and soon-to-be independence. I do not believe. Anyway, let's just wrap up all of this housekeeping before we start. Here we go. Thank you. Maybe I should probably pick up some. I have too much pure gold. Too much pure gold. Do I need to pick up anything for next month? Okay, I have enough red certs for next month. Did I Okay, I tapped everything out that I needed. Modules are coming back in a bit. Okay. And these, haven't used these in a bit. Those are emergency rations. Okay. Although I am out of gold certs. Oh, wait, right. Another limited event is coming next month, methinks. So probably should save. Anyway, it is time to start Dissociative Recombination. Let's run it back. Where did we stop? We stopped at 4? We stopped at 4, so there should be a new tutorial. I don't think there's a story with this one, so we're going straight to 5. 15.5. Origin of Conflict. All but fragments written down in the endless book of cacophonies. Right. Before. Let's turn the volume up. There we go. Make sure the cursor isn't showing. Okay, there we go. Right. Where are we? Oh, I think we're back on the spaceship with Hierda and Ray Distorter. The spaceship called Rhodes Island, by the way. Time. So back in PV4, we had a tease of this bunny girl. If you haven't watched PV4, we basically saw a glimpse of this bunny girl shattering some sort of dimensional space and peeking through it. At first, it was copium that it might have been alternate universe Frost Nova. But no, different bunny girl. They should never bring Frost Nova back. They probably will when it comes to Enfield, because in this episode, we also got introduced to the very first doppelgangers that we see in Enfield. I forgot what they're called. I always forget what they're called. It's just easier to call them doppelgangers. They're basically reconstituted people made from the memories that Originium kept. Because we know that Originium can keep information and reconstitute it in different forms. That's what the doppelgangers are in Enfield. And we basically saw our first doppelganger here when Priestess sicked the doppelganger of Ascalon against Theresis. So a lot of things connecting with Enfield already. Also, gameplay trailer. The PS gameplay trailer just revealed. I haven't watched it yet. I want to stay spoiler-free going into Enfield, since we're finally in the last leg, supposedly. Copium. You asked why the first language I shared with you after our thoughts resonated was death. I really don't know either. Aboard this strange colossal vessel called Rhodes Island, the goddess can barely feel the passage of time. It makes her uneasy. Ever since the day she became infected, time has meant everything to her. Time will bring her death, and perhaps liberation. However, the beings who dwell in this strange place, yet deny they are gods, seem utterly indifferent to it. Maybe it's because I've never been afraid of dying. Death is nothing more than a passage to a new environment. Pessimist. That's how they would describe you in your own language, yes? Pessimist? I don't think so. The goddess blurts it out and regrets it just a little. She had agreed with many of the clergy's arguments back during those debates, but now she's here. Does she still need to think in those terms? Does she really care about everything she experienced before the collapse? The collapse. After all, even time has forsaken her now. I once worked in a mine that seemed to be endless. To maintain efficiency, the overseer would kill or drive any of the bothersome originium slugs. Originium slugs? A mine? Yes, those originium slugs are even weaker than me, and the mines, they were once my home. I feel like, they're setting her up to be a mirror of Amiya, actually. Just a thought. She had the same upbringing as Amiya, except she died of apathy. Amiya got saved by Oracle. Well, got taken in by Oracle.
But the overseer didn't expect the kindest worker in the mine was secretly feeding and caring for the Originium slugs they were trying to drive away, which only drew more of them into the mine. Eventually, the slugs disrupted the mine's foundation, leading to a collapse.
That's also how Mia's parents died. But you survived.
The slug secretions fed me.
She fed on slugs to survive. That's how... No, that's definitely not how she got oropathy. Maybe it was just working in the mines that gave her oropathy, but definitely not the slugs. Well, no, maybe it did. Because we learned that... Why am I running it back to this? We learned during... Fuck. We learned during the Dungeon Meshi collab that there's a specific way you had to harvest Originium slugs to make sure that they're safe to eat. The one good thing to come out of that event.
In a harsh environment, many of them lived short lives, yet new ones kept being born. That gave me strength.
Miners, Originium slugs, and yourself. But your story ignores the death of Terra, Hierda. The what? Huh? Excusez-moi? Can you run that back again? Wait. Death of Terra? You do not treasure your Terra.
That's not true at all. In our language, Terra bless us is a phrase that invokes something almost divine.
You still have a very limited definition of life.
I don't understand. You've shown me so many individuals, each starkly distinct from the next. You all feel love and hate just as we do, and yet are still vastly different from each other. Salvaging death from the grave, you all live united by a purpose I can't understand. But why have I come here?
The goddess ponders this question, but her intuition tells her the answer lies with the person who just extended a hand to her. Who saved you? Who picked you up from dying on Terra? Priestess? But Priestess on Rhodes Island? We initially thought that when we saw Priestess in the in-between before Team Amiya got sent to the Originium Sea, Doctor got sent to Priestess Throne World. Maybe it might not have been a Throne World at all. Maybe it might have been this spaceship all along. It might have been Rhodes Island. That's still fucking me up. She looks out the porthole at the top of the cabin into a cold, silent, endless expanse of space. Light from the distant giant sphere once again passes over the dead planet, piercing the goddess's eyes. You're gonna tell me the dead planet we're watching is Terra? However, despite her blurry vision, she spots a small silhouette within the light.
There is someone out there in deep space? Is that the one I'm looking for?
Someone out in the depths of space seems to hear the goddess's voice. A shadow within the light stirs ever so slightly. You're looking for me? Staring too close into the void, and now it stares back. 1 circle, 2 circles. The little dots are spinning in the darkness. They're accelerating, coming closer and closer. They rip a hole in the darkness, and a bright blazing beam of light shines through. I extend my arms and embrace them. Wait, what? Wait! Core body temperature elevated? Nerve blocker already been administered. Warfarin?
Body temperature rising rapidly. Prepare to administer muscle relaxant and replenish blood volume. Repeat the medication again, and let's start the operation.
Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, okay. We're back with Chloe. Hold up. What's going on? Who's Warfarin operating on? Is it gonna be the girl?
Dr. Warfarin? Did I doze off again? Maybe I'm just really exhausted. Don't try and speak now. Your throat is badly injured. You feel like you went to sleep. Yes, and I had a long dream. You didn't feel any other discomfort? No, did something happen just now, Dr. Warfarin? Nothing major. Did you dream about anything? Special? Anything special? Oh, that's hard to say. In my dreams, there were balls of mud spinning around each other on black velvet. They're now big, now small. One moment they're smaller than children's marbles, the other larger than the whole of Victoria. Someone picked them up and flung them back out. They started smashing into each other and bursting like fireworks, but the whole time, I didn't hear a sound. Anything else? I also saw threads, stretching from one ball of mud to another, each one made of light, and on every thread there were people, running outward, racing along the light. I followed them. I ran to a white patch of earth. It was completely empty, save for a single stone tablet standing there. Stone tablet? What was written on it? Nothing, Dr. Warfaren. That's when I woke up. What a strange dream. Then again, you remember it quite clearly, which means your brain's memory module is still functioning properly.
Why do you call it that way? Warfaren, speak like a normal person!
More clearly you remember your dream, the closer you were to waking when you dreamed it. As I see it, the fact that you were able to remember your dream is a very good thing. Say, I haven't seen Dr. Touch today. She has other matters to attend to. She told me to give this to you. Look. Huh? The springs, the gears, the hands, all the parts that make up a clock. She said it would help relieve your stress. But her Warfaren is Rhodes Island in some kind of trouble again.
Why did we transition from Rhodes Island to this Rhodes Island through an operation? What did that mean? What did you mean by that, Hypergriff? I almost thought that Warfaren was doing surgery on Hierda, and that she would be on Rhodes Island, and maybe it was just a wild dream. Little one, you've come to the wrong place. Oh! It's Beepy! Beepy got lost, unsurprisingly. Who put googly eyes on you, Beepy? It's hiding in fear!
Seems like Closure failed to examine your program modules. Here, little one. This item here should definitely not be on your maintenance list.
Goliath lifts it gently and examines it curiously in his hands. Beepy is angry. Beep beep.
What a huge change. It was empty when Her Highness left. Now there are so many interesting people and things here, right? Ascalon.
What's up, Ascalon? Still kinda disappointed me that we left Manfred to live, but okay, sure. Can we address Manfred eventually? How is that man's still alive?
Tell them not to worry. I'll take care of the mobility layer. Okay. Ascalon, you seem in poorer spirits than when you returned from Victoria. What about all the people working under you?
They've been dispatched to create isolation zones outside the ship. I'm remaining on the ship and that's sufficient.
Rhodes Island does indeed need a blade that moves through the darkness, but that doesn't mean you need to consciously remain silent. Come chat with me when you have the time. I have liquor here. Besides, I want you to tell me about Theresis. I witnessed the beginning of that heroic epic. You witnessed the end. What we saw was very different.
Okay. I will convey your thoughts to the Doctor and Amiya when they have time.
The Goliath places Beepy in front of the exit passage.
Stop wandering around. Mobility layer is dangerous. Don't underestimate what high concentrations of Originium can do to someone like you.
The mobility layer.
I'll keep my eye on the work here. That'll be enough.
Sometimes you forget that Rhodes Island is a whole-ass mobile city on its own. Runs away in panic. You scared Beepy. Well, anything to get them out of danger.
Damn Kelsey. What could have gotten you this tense?
Why are we in Australia? PRTS operation record. Confidential. Wait a minute! Fuck you, I needed to read that. Escort catastrophe warning system and medical center core components. Executor. Confidential. Mechanist. Logos. Radian. Contact. Records erased. Huh? We're getting a flashback to an operation record. What do you mean, records erase of contact? Are we gonna make contact with one of the Fahrenheits underneath Australia?
Situation abnormal. Enemy weapons technology exceeds mission parameters. Risk of exposure present. Possible enemy signal detection capability. Shutting down drone transmission temporarily. Logos, counting on you for the drone's live feed. I'm ready. Circuits, etched into Originium spoken through words, drawn by hand to reveal what the swarm perceives.
Logos's bone pen hovers in the air, automatically transcribing the images recorded by the drone.
12 flexible vehicles buried in the sand. 31 armed militants. 5 snipers' nests have already been marked. There seems to be a signal isolation device in the tent, which a scanner cannot penetrate. All are carrying unidentified weapons. Threat level unknown. Further on-site confirmation required. Radiant, you're up next. Starting the drone recall procedure.
In position. Wait a second, can you see me? The bone pen taps lightly, its strokes weaving together the rough outline of a human form. Radiant! Mother! That's Mother right there. Radiant gives a tentative wave to 2 people watching the feed, and even in floating text, her smile comes through clearly.
We're standing by, ready to assist you.
It's no problem. In 90 seconds, your drone and I will leave together. On screen, Radiant walks into the signal blocking tent as if no one else is there, and the transmission cuts out. No, my wife!
Logos,
Ready to launch a full assault at any time. The incantations have already drifted on the wind to the edge of their camp. 10 seconds. 20 seconds. 30 seconds. Done. All intel has been transcribed. I'll be back in a sec. It didn't create even a single stir. I overwrote the visual signals received by each target's brain. Chances are all they saw was a mischievous little sand bee slipping into the tent to escape the wind and sand. Mechanist, how goes it? Did you discover anything while parsing the intel reports?
all weapons have had their origins erased and have been modified to suit their operators. I'm familiar with how to operate it. Doctor discussed its rather rare design with me just recently. They're from Ager.
Wait, what? Huh? Hold up.
Ager? But the people who are going to interface with us, aren't they also?
Regardless, the threat has been cleared. We must not yield to such a threat and allow it to interfere with our equipment transfer. Nor can we create any disruption that could alert the personnel involved. The matter is of great importance and needs to be resolved quietly.
Contact with Ager? Confidential, ensure transfer and installation of mining modules. Miner Sharp, Storm Eye and Sharp, Misery, Storm Eye and Sharp. Another flashback. A recorded operation that we're looking through. Contact, records erased. Why did we need our contact with Ager erased?
There's no way. They're wearing special protective equipment to ward off our physical attacks.
This was arranged in advance. They even knew our personnel layout.
Orchid, stay back. They're clearly after our mining module.
Figures. I knew I'd end up working overtime again. Spot, support Midnight and Catapult. Popcar, have you called for reinforcements? Yeah, I called them already. Orchid, be careful.
Futile. As for the others,
There is no one else.
where's that sound coming from?
Storm Eye. Oh wait, no, that's Biff.
You really have prepared well. Unfortunately, you're quite not strong enough to handle arts.
Mantra. Oh my god, is this? I forgot. Is this our first on-screen sighting of Mantra? No, it's not. I think Mantra was there during the last leg of the Londinium arc.
No, that's not right. It shouldn't be you.
Shh, even your heart has gone silent.
Hypergriff, I demand you make the Gilf playable.
I'll deal with the injured. That said, Midnight is getting too worked up again. Orchid, I'll have to trouble you with dealing with him. Leave him to me. The doctor guessed correctly. Someone leaked the details of our operations.
Was it PRTS? Has PRTS been leaking operations data to our enemies? What's going on? Wait. Is she weakened? Hold up. Is PRTS leaking this information to our enemies or raiders? And is that also how PRTS is splitting up operators away from Rhodes Island? Wait a minute, we're leaving Rhodes Island defenseless.
Wrap this up quickly. Tow the backup mining ship to the nearest nomadic city and get the energy bay patched up. Then return to the ship at once to avoid any mishaps. Fifth, why are you our backup? The RTS told me it would be Misery.
Oh. Hold up.
Followed the hunch. A last-minute change in plans right before departure. I'm just worried that...
I believe in you. Oh, it was Doctor who sent Pith over. Why? Because we need Misery on the ship? Misery, Stormeye, Sharp, and such have other plans. Okay.
Do we need to inform the rest of our colleagues via PRTS?
No, not necessary. If everything goes well, I'm worrying about nothing. Oh, something about defending the ship? If anything goes wrong, resolve the issue quickly as possible and then return to defend the ship. So it's been doctors sending out operators on field operations. But PRTS, I think PRTS has been leaking info.
How many waves of mercenaries have attacked us today already? This is the 7th wave now. It may not be too threatening, but it's really strange how many of them have been attacking us every day the past week. We've only just crossed Casdel's border. These guys do not fear death. They remind me of the mercenaries we met back in Sargon. Faithless. Misery, what's taking you so long? We planned for you to be back by now.
You should know that this place is still quite some distance from the Scar Market. Even if I knew every shortcut around here, it would still take some time.
What has the investigation revealed so far? For the past 2 weeks, someone's been routing the majority of the Scar Market's orders here through a network of outsourcers. There's no way to trace the client. They've covered their tracks well.
It's PRTS. PRTS has been rerouting the Scar Market bandits to get in the way of Rhodes Island What?
In other words, it's just bad luck that we ran into these mercs.
I don't know about bad luck, dog.
They're not actively coming to attack us. I'm afraid so. Seems that not all the worries Doctor had before we departed were unfounded.
Fang? Hold up. We already got grown up Fang. So this should be after the Bolivar incident.
Everyone, there's news from the sentries.
Also, we saw Fang during the Lindinium saga. So technically, yeah, it's way past the Bolivar incident.
Another group of mercenaries is shifting towards our position. There's a high chance that we'll be engaging them again soon. Misery, something's not right here. These unending waves of mercenaries don't seem to be trying to harm us. Instead, it's like they're
trying to delay us
from returning to Rhodes Island to defend it.
We can stay here and continue escorting the team. You all can return to the ship now.
Don't worry, Fang. Some folks are going to find it harder than they thought to put their schemes into motion.
Misery, I know you're aura farming in the middle of a combat zone, but we need you back at Rhodes Island. The air is fluctuating.
Is that the wind? No, is that the life bone?
Bro, what's going on with the ship? I thought it would be back in Kazdel by now. High above the sky, a massive skeleton has emerged, stirring the dust of history and casting a vast shadow below. Are we still escorting the Sarkaz back to Kazdel? It's been 3 years! For many at Rhodes Island, it is the first time seeing the massive skeleton that once appeared during the chaos in Victoria.
What a sight.
While investigating the Scar Market, I took a trip to Kazdel to meet a few old friends. Let's leave the rest to them. We should go home.
Few old friends? The life bone, which means it's Innis, Hoderer, and Wishadel on the life bone. Because Hoderer is the only one who could pilot it, mostly.
I've already silenced all communications in visible range now. Engaging now.
The weapons counter my gear, but they offer little resistance against your bone whistle incantations.
Back over here on this side, they're dealing with Ager. Back in Australia, well, other Australia. Back in Kazdel, on the way to Kazdel, they're dealing with bandits from the Scar Market. We got our elite operators too spread thin. I need these motherfuckers back on Rhodes Island ASAP.
Far from it, they just don't quite understand the rules of my speech yet. Curious about the thought process the Aegers followed in developing such precise weaponry. Then I'll grab a few pieces to take them back and dismantle. I'll help you study them.
Come on, you two. We're carrying out a mission here. There are at least 3 squads waiting in ambush up ahead. We can't take them all on. I'm afraid we can't handle this cleanly and quietly anymore. We'll need to tell our people to brace for the assault.
They're all... Bro, they're all out in the field. Is Ascalon the only one back at Rhodes Island?
Hey, the reinforcements the doctor called for are here. Radiant Mechanist, mark the location for us. The bad guy will be there soon.
But Blaze! Check your communication devices. I synchronize our locations with you.
Acknowledged. Wait a moment. Montes, did we agree I'd rush in first and draw their fire away from you? I'll control the arts.
Aegirians? Coughing baby, meet nuclear bomb, Rosmontes. I bet you've never seen this type of elfin lion bullshit down there in the sea.
Finished? I checked the signals in the surrounding area. They've all been cleared out. Who can tell me what this thing really is?
Broken little handy, they brought one of you up here. Can we adopt it? I want to adopt it.
When it tried to self-destruct, I had to use all my strength just to stop it. The people interfacing with us are also Aegers. Why are they attacking our people and equipment?
The Dr. Kelsey and the Doctor determined that. Ensure that we return to the ship as soon as possible, as our personnel and equipment are safely transferred to Clementia. We need to deal with these issues as soon as possible. There are still other unknown leakers out there. This is just the beginning, I'm afraid.
Leakers. Leakers. PRTS. Also, speak of the devil.
That's strange. Why is PRTS responding even slower now? Or is it just my imagination? This isn't right, no. Let me check it again.
PRTS has been leaking Rhodes Island's location to a bunch of bandits, to a bunch of Aegirians, I don't know, opportunists that want whatever secrets are on this godforsaken ship.
PRTS output all backend logs from the past 2 weeks. No problems here, and no problems here either. No problems anywhere.
It's hiding the problems from you, Closure. Closure. We're being set up. My elite operators are getting spread too thin out there. Etched bone deep. Humanity guards it. Okay, I'm getting hiccups. Humanity guards itself against everything. Fire, storm, cold, anything it can predict. But there is no way for humanity to guard against itself. Meanwhile, at the branch office. Not a branch office, where are we?
Doctor, Mantra and the others have already returned to the ship. Your guess was correct. Someone is targeting our mission. This instrument is from Ager? Dr. Kelsey, can we discover anything from its remaining parts?
When is this taking place? Is this still a flashback? Because I'm pretty sure these two are on Rhodes Island. So this has to be a flashback. Because this is a background they use for branch offices.
No. The Ager Academy of Technology put a great deal of care into this delicate piece of equipment. Given their pride, I'll bet they made sure no one could ever crack their little handy. But the appearance of the little handy itself is enough to explain many problems. Doctor, you remember the Joint Marine Corps?
Of course, the reason you met with the Ager consul was to facilitate cooperation.
Both the Iberian and Rimbiltonian authorities have responded to our call. The problem is that once cooperation begins, subsequent developments could spiral beyond what we've anticipated. In recent weeks, the Ager fleet has not only constructed ports in Iberia but also established landing sites among the southern coast of Rimbilden.
Right. Look, man, we never got to finish Thorns' event because my internet went out for the latter half of that event. We still gotta run it back eventually. But sure, Ager is setting up ports in Iberia and Rimbilden.
The Agers from the deep sea made no immediate move to land. Instead, they quickly carried out a number of operations, including hydrographic surveying under the banner of technical cooperation. They also quickly assembled a land patrol through a mix of hired personnel and official partnerships, relying on more neutral intermediaries to facilitate operations with land-based forces.
So you're saying the attackers are the land patrol?
We're still only speculating, but right now the land patrol is the only one that fits all the evidence we've collected. Dr. Kelsey, some consuls don't back Clementia, yes, but that doesn't prove that the Ager is behind all of this. No, I'm more inclined to believe that someone took advantage of the internal conflicts within Ager.
Someone. Who could it be? Who was left alive back in Path of Life? Abyssal Hunter Grandpappy died, I think. It could be... No, can't be. I'll keep that thought to myself.
The land patrol near the Iberian border, the mining ship being handed off in Rimbilden, the mercenaries in the Kazdelian frontier.
Land patrol near the Iberian border. That is Logo's squad. The mining ship Rimbilden. Oh wait, no. We never saw the Iberian border. But the mining ship handed off in Rimbilden, that was Logo's squad. Mercenaries on Kazdelian frontier. That was Fang squad? That was Fang squad.
Breadth of the deployments and the depth of their knowledge about Rhodes Island's classified missions. That's more than enough to prove that Ager isn't behind this.
It's PRTS. We're getting intercepted. Something has been leaking our field operation info to outsiders, attempting to raid us.
However, there is no possibility of a rebellion within Rhodes Island.
Yeah, this should have happened like months before the current events happening on Rhodes Island with PRTS. So this is how they found out that PRTS was malfunctioning. I don't believe that will happen either. Ascalon is dealing... Ascalon and Sweep. They should be dealing with all potential rebellions happening on Rhodes Island. Well, human-based rebellions. Well, not human. Fuck, I'm turning into Yostar now.
Doctor, do you think there's anyone else in Rhodes Island who could do that besides us?
Look, come on. If we still got that dog in us, if we still got that Oracle dog in us, we should probably, put two and two together.
That's right. No one else could do that.
The RTS.
Dr. Kelsey, the threats that Rhodes Island faces now are unpredictable. Dr. Warfin also warned us several times that
I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee. That's right, we're getting oripathy mutations now. We forgot to recap that new mutations of oripathy are developing. Chloe herself is a carrier for oripathy. She's asymptomatic. It's wild. Also,
the special patients she's caring for, their conditions are deteriorating faster than she can control. Whether to save our patients or to respond to potential crises, we need more aggressive responses. I've reviewed the records Theresa left in the Black Crown. She also made major breakthroughs through her work on Civilite Eterna. I can visit Civilite Eterna to look for potential help just like Theresa did. We must carefully assess the risks involved, Amiya.
Amiya, are you sure you're ready? Are there any more effective means at the moment? We're finally making the Civilite Eterna persona relevant to the story. You mean we're not just using it as a marketable gotcha waifu hypergriff? Dang.
I cannot give you a definitive answer, Doctor. But I will never stop trying. Any advantage I can gain may help Rhodes Island progress further.
So was it the Civilite Eterna in the Abyss? But isn't the Civilite Eterna on your head, Amiya?
I want to try.
I'll go with Amiya. Why are we talking as if the Civilite Eterna is in a fixed location? When the fixed location should be on Amiya's head. Where else would it be?
Doctor, I cannot agree to such a risky plan.
Can Civilite Eterna link to my thoughts?
Doctor, that's too dangerous. No one's ever done something like this before. I agree with Dr. Kelsey that you shouldn't take the risk.
Kelsey recalls the experience of her dear friend, which is not something she is happy to recall.
Yes, Civilite Eterna can do that. She did it before.
Theresa.
Doctor, your mind is incredibly complex, but you're not the only one at risk here. Amiya could be exposed to completely unforeseen shocks as well. I will not agree to this preposterous proposal. Dr. Kelsey, Amiya, this is my opinion. I cannot interfere with yours and the doctor's final decision on this matter, but I hope you understand my stance.
Amiya, I can open up my mind to you completely. We don't have to force it in one. We could give it a few tries. I don't know about completely, though. But sure, we fully trust our daughter.
But Dr. Kelsey...
When it's all over, we'll go apologize to her. It's not this plan that she's opposed to, per se. Okay, we're the bad role model here. We'll apologize to her together.
I trust you, Doctor.
I'll leave the decision of when to stop entirely up to you. Let's start after I finish arranging the defenses. Meanwhile, Monster.
Are you worried about me? I'm not mad at all. Once again, we've arrived at a critical turning point. And last time, Babel met the fate I dreaded most. Turns out that I can't make sure everything is running on its ideal track, Monster.
Rubs gently. Who's a good dog? Cat.
Our own limitations have begun to affect our usefulness in more important endeavors. We may be able to witness the changes of the stars and untamed cosmos, But when faced with a real crisis, we're no different from any other creatures on this great land.
Dissatisfied growl.
Thank you for comforting me. I can sense your good intentions.
Anxious growl.
Yes, I suppose me and the doctor have already begun preparing to delve deeper into Civilized Eterna. I will not interfere with Amia's decision. She's mature enough to make the most correct judgment. And the doctor isn't quite the same anymore either. Maybe I still have a glimmer of hope in my heart. Maybe this time, the outcome will be different.
We're not gonna let Babel 2 happen. Rhodes Island will live through all of this. Rhodes Island will live long enough through all of this that we'll see it become a spaceship, apparently. The Imperionic Asdelia.
It is true that my own sanity is constantly warning me. Touching the doctor's mind again, with the help of the Civilized Eterna, is not a sound decision, but Amiya is right. We don't have much choice. Monster, I will protect the doctor and Amiya.
Look, man. Look, Hypergriff. I can see you blatantly planting and raising those red flags for Kelsey. I can hear you play fucking immutable in the background as we say our final goodbye to Kelsey. I just don't believe you. I just don't buy it. Whatever you're gonna do to this woman, it's not gonna be permanent. At this moment, Monster can sense even Kelsey's slightest emotions. Ever since Kelsey's latest awakening, Monster has been at her side. Monster is her companion, the symbiote she personally guides, and more importantly, herself. What is that? Why is she holding a plug? Monster can purr?
You're wrong. I do not feel hopeless, Monster. I'm delighted that the ancients overthrew the rule of the elders, and I'm also pleased that Lugal Zargus set the starting point for a new civilization.
Hey, yo! We're just dropping this shit! Lugal Zargus? The ancients overthrew the elders. The elders being the true humans that came to Terra. The ancients being the ancient races of Terra. Like the Pegasi and the other mythical beast races. Plus the Tikas.
I have made mistakes out of arrogance, but I've also regained my confidence by making dear friends. Maybe yours and my basic structures will always be alien to this land, but that doesn't mean we will always walk alone. I've found my home in Rhodes Island, on this great land. I've fulfilled her expectations, Monster. I've learned love. I've found myself.
This isn't a final goodbye. Bro, I got like zero belief that anything that happens here will be permanent. Wraps tail around Kelsey.
I must protect me and the doctor. I must protect the true variable here, the future I cannot even glimpse. I've communicated with Civilized Eterna before, yet I haven't been able to break through my own limitations. But Amiya can. Of that, Teresa and I are certain. I'm sure she could pluck significance from the massive trove of data. With Teresa's blessing, she can do it. She is still Amiya after all. I have seen her grown into a leader with my own eyes. Following in footsteps, she might find some words that one left behind. In the past, when Originium had not yet taken shape, there was an era when luminaries competed to argue with the epoch itself. Their wonderful ideas, born of a desire to celebrate and save lives, still persist. All is not yet lost, Monster. Terra has a chance, no matter how faint, to keep that hope alive.
Look, man, you could make Kelsey or farm as much as you like. I don't believe this'll be permanent, dog.
Me? No, Monster. I'm better at memories, remembering the history I witnessed and have seen erased by time. I'm not special at all.
Kal'tsit calmly inscribes the important info into Monster's spine. What? Hello? Look, where did that plug come from? Wait a minute.
If the outcome I fear most does come to pass, if the one I least want to see stands in front of us once more, protect the doctor. Protect Amiya. I will engrave this directive into your basic behavioral strategy matrix. Come, Monster. We still have work to do. If the threat does come, I must ensure that Rhodes Island is Terra's first outpost against the crisis. I will be your final safeguard.
Cap. Bro? Come on. You're not gonna catch me with that emotional beat, Hypergriff. I know how you play out character deaths of playable characters in this game, Hypergriff. You're not gonna catch me a third time. Moment of truth. The only way of discovering the limits of the possible is to venture a little way past them into the impossible. Bars. So was that not a flashback? Are we just in a different Rhodes Island room? Seems like it. No, I do think that was a flashback. I think this is still a flashback. Or no. I'm not too sure. They would usually say it's a flashback. Because by the time we're in current day, they already know. They already know that PRTS was going haywire, and that's why we evacuated Rhodes Island under renovation. But in the last scene, we saw that they were just finding out about PRTS leaking. Well, they were coming to the conjecture that PRTS was leaking info to outsiders.
I've never tried to use the Black Crown to access your thoughts before, Doctor.
Don't worry, I've opened up my heart and my mind for you. I'll go with the first one.
Thank you.
She looks to her side, at the beam of bright warm light gently tugging at her hand. She shuts her eyes and slowly lets out a sigh of relief.
We're in this together, Amiya. I don't know where this journey of ours will lead us, Doctor, but I'll protect you.
I'll protect you too, Amiya. We're gonna go back into the past. This is how we're gonna get our flashback. We're gonna get an echo of the past. Okay, I get it now. Hold up. Low light. I know you're a huge FF14 fan. We're gonna get an echo. We're gonna get a Warrior of Light echo. And then we're gonna see Oracle and Priestess's relationship. Under the watchful eye of Civilite Eterna, she gives your brow a light touch.
Your memories and emotions flow towards me. It's strange. They billow so gently as they flow, and the memory's edge is close at hand. What did Theresa see back then?
Amiya sees you, and Kelsey, and herself, and the many people aboard Rhodes Island. As she walks deeper, boundary of that one memory comes within reach. Curiosity and concern nearly cause her to forget her mission. She wants to reach out to touch it. Touch upon the start of your memories. Chernobog, sarcophagus, and you, weakly stretching out your hand. That is the boundaries of what we know.
Doctor, take my hand.
It looks like Amiya. It looks like there's... Wait.
It looks like there's other memories too. Why are they so blurred?
Hold up. Oh! Oh!
Who was...
Amiya! Different woman. Priestess jump scare. White woman jump scare. You grab a hold of Amiya. Were you lost?
I don't know. This is the first time I've ever dived so deep into someone else's mind. It's a very odd feeling.
Good thing you pulled it off.
Thankfully, yes. Now I can sense even the faintest of your thoughts.
I can sense yours too.
You sure are relaxed right now.
I've got nothing to worry about with you around. What should we do next? Don't look at my most embarrassing memories of when I tried to put hot water and cook ramen in my mouth.
Hold my hand tight, Doctor. I'll protect you on the road ahead. Teresa taught me everything about the role of king that day. She awaits us at the start of the path.
I don't think there's only one woman awaiting us. I get what you're saying, but I cannot provide what you're asking for, as your request violates the underlying logic of DWDB221E. That's Kelsey. But I do have a way of circumvent its limits, Kelsey. Deep dive. Unfortunately, not even Teresa was able to penetrate this deeply. The risk was far beyond what she could bear. You're not here for answers, then why are you so insistent I access this data that is useless to you? Civilized Eterna finally relevant to the story? I thought... Imagine us, back a year ago when we thought, this is just an excuse to bring Teresa back to life. And maybe they heard those criticisms and they were like, okay, we gotta make sure that this isn't just a doppelganger of Teresa hanging around Rhodes Island, ready to give a bedtime story to Amiya when she feels like it. Gotta make sure it's story relevant. It's a different entity compared to Teresa. It's the crown itself.
I have no way of knowing if there will come a day that Amiya asks you the same question, but I hope that in the darkness she will find the way I lit for her. That was Kelsey's answer to me, Amiya. Could I ask you to look through all of Dr. Kelsey's access records for us?
God damn it, it's Civilite GPT.
I would be happy to. Her every doubt, her every insistence, each and every time she left in disappointment, I will show it all to you unreserved. You have dove into the Civilite Eterna before, Amiya, but this time, what you seek lies far beyond your limits. It is a place where life on Terra cannot tread, for the time being, but perhaps you will find a chance to touch upon this knowledge that it's not yours. Because you have someone who walks alongside you, Doctor.
Me?
You will quickly understand what I mean, Doctor. Follow me, Amiya. Follow me too.
Deep dive. Yo! Civilization singularity. Are we in a Stargate? Is this... Hold up. Is this directly above one of the Stargates on Terra? If we could see past the veil, if we could see past the fake sky, is this what we'll see right above the Stargate in the north? A great hallway of pure white circles around the central point that defies comprehension, the singularity. An unending stream of complex information flows from it, but the strands you manage to snatch hold are still within your understanding. Amiya cannot see the way you entered, but after an interminably long time walking down the corridor, she finds herself back where she started.
You notice, Amiya? The stagnation of civilization does not mean it stands still. It continues onwards on time's linear flow, unable to turn back. But all that life discovers and creates is doomed to fall into an inextricable cycle. Mathematics, physics, philosophy, theology, these theories and practicalities, among others, cannot inspire hope as they once did. The ascending spiral has failed. Life squanders its future as it stumbles blindly into the dark. So this is as far as we could go? Only as defined by Terra's current knowledge. It serves as a limit, yes, but it is also a safeguard. A safeguard?
Some kind of cognitive barrier. There's a cognitive barrier inside Doctor's own mind?
Cognitive?
Like how we can't make sand beasts calculate wave dynamics. We don't got the brain power to comprehend what we're looking at? Or can normal Terrans not have the brain power to comprehend what we're looking at? Bro, I'm just saying Kristen did. Kirsten Wright. Even if we gave them all the data and formula, all forcing it will do is hurt their brains.
As keen an intuition as ever, Doctor, but not entirely correct. DWDB221E enlightens life at a steady pace to bring it forward. It does not simply reveal fragments of the future to the seeker to create evolutionary leaps that violate the laws of nature and ethics.
Oh, okay, I remember now. DWDB221E is the designation of the Civilite Eterna as a creation of the Elders. Kelsey's designation was a bit different. I forgot what it was.
Knowledge cannot be unlearned, Amiya. The dreamers who glimpse the true sky are no longer happy to slumber in ignorance on the ground.
What do you mean I'm no longer content with the shadows the outside of the cave is showing me?
Information beyond civilization's cognitive limits will simply blind them to reality, a deadly poison luring them into annihilation's embrace, throwing their civilization into the abyss. And so this boundary was born. But why does it look so much like a prison made from some giant data server? It appears in a form your mind can comprehend, like how DWDB221E appears as a black crown in the material world when accompanying you.
Oh.
To a minuscule ant, it is an Ouroboros river, forever unable to flow into the sea. But to a celestial body whose lifespan stretches to trillions, it is a gravitational field that will stay with them their entire life, unfathomable, inescapable.
You walk towards a section but one step away from the void. The distant singularity at the core calls to you. Information washes past you like gentle waves, showing you glimpses of many fascinating sights. They are fleeting shadows of your past, a life you had lost and forgotten. Stray visions of an unfamiliar era.
Be careful, Doctor.
Amiya tugs on your hand.
We don't know what will happen if you fall off this boundary. Are these what you saw?
Our minds as one. What I see, you see.
The Originium slug egg went through the bridge between stars.
What? No shot! Originium slugs aren't native to Terra? They're alien? Hold up, I thought they were just slugs that evolved on an Originium dense Terra. You mean Originium slugs are alien? We brought them here?
So all those stories really did happen.
Wait, the Originium slug egg went through the bridge of stars.
When I was really young, I met someone who was incredibly caring. That care was matched with great weakness, but also stubborn insistence in carrying me across the land laden with Originium shards. When I was dizzy with fever, yet too scared of nightmares to sleep, a patient voice regaled me with stories I had never heard before.
Oracle told you bedtime stories about the ancient past. You had this information all along. Then again, Amiya only just revealed 3 years ago during the finale of the Lindinium saga that she did remember everything. And she knew. She knew it was Doctor who orchestrated the plot to kill Theresa. In order to keep up the Originium plot, she might have not known that.
In a dark, cramped cave, difficult to find ore samples were smashed without the slightest hesitation. And the shining stones were scattered across the walls, used to tell me tales of the stars and the heavenly paradise above the clouds. Would you like to hear one of those stories, Doctor?
Alrighty, sure. Maybe we shouldn't have delved in my mind. Maybe we should have started with what you knew about Oracle.
There was once someone who drove a mysterious vehicle shaped like an Originium slug egg on their lonesome, who went through the bridge between stars. On the most quiet of nights, guides would borrow glowing clouds from old stars and make round mirrors out of them to light the way.
They navigated using the stars. We already knew that the true humans were a spacefaring civilization. We don't know if... No, I think... What's the name of the planet in Enfield again? Something 2. That definitely shouldn't be the home world. Nah, it shouldn't be. I think it... I don't know. Hold up. Maybe we're getting too deep into things, but what if they revealed a planet where Enfield... No, that's a moon. Well, I might be thinking too deep into things. We'll get there when we get there.
When descending on the crown, you'll see that it's really a really big playground, one where lovely little children gather to play. But it was hard for the vehicle's driver to stop. The driver changed to the most miraculous vehicle on hand and drove it for many years.
Is this the story of how... Oh, this is how the true humans arrived on Terra. A vehicle shaped like an Originium slug egg went through the Bridge of Stars. They would navigate through the universe using old stars to light their way. And then they drove it for many years. Was the Oracle? Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Oracle was also the one that brought humanity to Terra, but that's a bit of... I might be a bit putting too much on Oracle's shoulders alone.
But the years came to an end and nobody was left. Nobody but the driver.
Nobody but the driver? Wait a minute. Hold up. The ship that we saw a while ago? Earlier in the story? Shaped like an Originium slug egg, like an insect egg? No one else but the driver, Ray Distorter? Rhodes Island? Is the person in your story me? Am I Ray Distorter? Amiya grips her hand tightly.
Yes. Thanks to my infection, it's hard for me to remember much from that time, and there's a lot from those stories I don't understand. But I will do everything I can to remember every single one of your stories.
Okay, maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's a parallel. The person in the story she's talking about is Oracle. On their lonesome, piloting a colonization ship in the dark of space. But then there's also Ray Distorter who parallels the same thing.
Because they are my stories. Tales that you told me. I don't want to forget them. I never thought today would be the day I finally get to share your gift with me to you, Doctor. This time we witnessed it together, you and I. We got to know this past life of yours once more.
Thank you, Amiya. Not one bit traumatized by all of this.
Do you long for this kind of life, Doctor?
To travel the stars? I don't. What's the point of seeking out the horizon if we don't appreciate what's down here on this earth? We got everything we want on Rhodes Island and then some. Also, we gotta pay for our sins first and foremost.
You don't? Strange. It was such a beautiful life. One without the pain of oripathy, without conflict or war, where children could live their lives in joy.
Maybe I didn't want to show you the crueler side of things. There's always two sides to life, Amiya.
Maybe you're right. The cruelty behind the happiness, the joy behind suffering. We've experienced it all ourselves. I'll admit I shared these wondrous stories with Teresa, and she was just as amazed as I was. She always hoped that everyone in Kazdel know, in all the lands would have the chance to experience such a life. She did her best to see it come true.
And it will come true! Circa 2026 January. What, not January? When is Enfield coming out? January, early 2026!
We can't let things slide back, Doctor.
Don't worry, Terra will be spacefaring very soon, in a couple centuries. Or in our time, couple months. What next?
Deep dive.
Oh,
The intact data stored within DWDB-221E is decoded by the Singularity and exported in a moderate and suitable format as information. However, Amiya on her own will not be able to break through the limits of the baseline logic.
am I a special case then?
I am not certain, but the possibility is there. But how are we supposed to get close to the information once it's exported? Forgive me, Amiya, but I have no further information on this topic.
We ran the limits of civilized GPT.
I will search through the clues Kelsey left behind and sort anything that may be of use to you so that it's easier to find.
Perhaps we could build a bridge.
A bridge?
A bridge to the singularity, a bridge to knowledge. Hasn't Kelsey already pointed the way for us?
Has anyone done something like that before? There is no precedent in the records. It's worth a try, either way. Then you must be aware of the risks. The closer you get to the singularity, the denser the information will become. You may possibly experience it gaining mass. Information with mass? It is possible here, yes. It is also possible that information not yet fully decoded will flood into your mind and destroy it. And the destroyed mind means death.
Getting very Inception-y here. Also, meanwhile, back in Rhodes Island. Back on another lone ship adrift in space with a singular... Well, I don't think it's a singular traveler. Gerda said that there were other robots on the ship. Don't mind me, traveler. I'm simply watching yet another bout of destruction is all. Who is this? Gerda, that's your name, right?
Did you just say my name? I don't know whatever language you're speaking in at all. Also, how do you know?
As the goddess passes by the porthole, she sees the figure out in the darkness of space slowly approach the ship, then disappear from her sights. What the fuck?
Who's that, Ray Distorter? Is something wrong?
There's not many of us who like her. What? Sorry, traveler. I simply cannot handle being in the same room as her. If my friends saw this, they'd give me the cold shoulder because of it too. What? Hello? She, her. When the bewildered goddess snaps out of it, she finds herself the only person in the cabin. Upon foreseeing the arrival of an unwelcome soul, everyone else has made themselves scarce. Hey, yo! What the fuck? Bro? This can't be. Wait a minute. We've seen this figure before. This figure was in PV4, dude. We saw this figure behind a window on Rhodes... Well, technically also Rhodes Island. Wait a minute. It has bunny ears? It has weird gangly hands? Eldritch Hatsune Miku? My one theory... Okay, hear me out. What if this is a space-faring Seaborn? What if this is a space-faring Seaborn? I'm just saying. Maybe we're far into the future and then there's this space-faring Seaborn that's evolved this way. I don't know why it's mimicking bunny ears, but sure. Mysterious what? No! What? Yo! Mumu? Wait a minute! Mulesies? How? Wait. Ah. Bro. No need to look amazed. I learned how to communicate using long-distance resonance a while ago. What's up, Hermit? What the fuck is this? How and why is Mulesies using this Eldritch Hatsune Miku to communicate on this spaceship? What is going on? Suddenly, Mulesies jump scare. At the very least, before destroying that odd race, I kept the unique language patterns they had evolved. Wait, what? Huh? Before destroying that odd race, I kept the unique language patterns they had... What? Huh? Destroying? Huh. Was that just a fake out? Were you just mimicking Mumu's speech patterns? That was a fake out. I thought it was actually Mumu. What do you mean you destroyed the elves? What did you have to do with the elves? What is going on? Do you detest destruction as well, our newly come guest? I'm not sure what happened, to be honest. It's nothing too complicated. My people wants 8 stars to live. Others may hate us for it, but it's simply our survival instinct that worked. At work. What? Eldritch beings eating stars? Is this what we've been fearing this whole time? Is this why we needed to develop Originium to fend off whatever beings these are? The bigger bad, the greater bad. But now, the past only exists in horror stories passed around the metaphorical campfire. My people are on the brink of extinction. I fear I may be the last of my kind, in fact. Okay, there are way too many parallels to Mulesies here. It's weird. It's very weird. We destroy to live, but when destruction finally bears down upon us, we are powerless to face it. From that point onwards, I have become nothing more than a beggar. With the aid of some geniuses, I have changed the method I use to obtain the energy I need to live. It sounds like you've been trying to blend in with other life forms too. So when you were out in space looking at the dead planet, were you reminiscing about the destruction you experienced? Reminiscing? Nothing of that sort. Everyone here has accepted the ruination chasing us with serenity and hope in their hearts. Okay, the blue thing is just puppeteering the suit. I thought it was actually Mulesies. Probably not. Why this thing has Mulesies' mannerisms, I have no idea either. Why it's called an elf? Also no idea either. Maybe elves were also alien to Terra? A lot of bullshit going on. 15-7. The goddesses never thought that oncoming doom, especially one pressing down on their neck, could be something to be accepted calmly.
I could never be so indifferent if I had to live through everyone and everything I love being destroyed. I don't understand how you...
It's not indifference, but instead a belief in the absolute equality of the universe. It's a shame you arrived a little bit too late. The ship has just encountered a star going supernova several thousand light years away and made a smooth withdrawal. If you see that sight with your own eyes, perhaps you'll understand my meaning. The instruments in the hall begin to spin rapidly until they are moving too fast for the goddess to see with the naked eye. Then she sees a multitude of lights and shadows appear and float through the air.
I see a giant sphere emitting a deep dark red light and a small indigo dot speeding across its surface. But it seems like it's the big sphere rotating around the blue dot? The one you call the blue dot is a pulsar that just went supernova I mentioned. The red star, which is gradually being torn apart, is its partner, now doomed to die as well. They once harbored many interesting primitive life forms. I have many fond memories of wandering through the planets of the star system. It's a pity they were snuffed out before they could see the world beyond the sky. Huh?
Huh? What? Why do you keep talking as if you're talking about Terra?
Why are you showing this to me?
Simply sharing the knowledge we have with you, traveler. Stop mimicking Mules's mannerisms. It's freaking me out. One-sided paranoia and ignorance are often barriers to effective information transfer. I have no knowledge of your history either. The goddess has barely had the time to comprehend those words before suddenly her newly acquired knowledge begins to assault her mind.
The land may see life be born twice? These stars fallen from the sky can harbor life on their own? Ruination's end is not despair. We're not special when it comes to the land? A celestial body that can sustain life loves all that live upon it equally, no matter where they hail from. This is also a law of nature. Don't be too greedy in lapping up that knowledge you can't fully understand yet. Bro, you just laid on... This is basically the equivalent of giving a Dorito to a Victorian child. In many places on Terra, it might as well be medieval. And she got sucked up to the spaceship after Oripathy death. And was like, behold, the vastness of the universe. Behold, the unending equality of death upon those that choose to live. Behold, the dying of civilizations and stars. I'm 12. I'm 12 and I just died. What is this? The presence. That's what a lot of people call you, right? I'm just a wandering presence, true. Like I said, when true destruction bore down on me and my fellows, I was powerless. What exactly is this destruction you keep talking about? Are you not the destruction? You mean there's something else that caused your destruction? Which needs Originium to solve? I've seen plenty of things here I can only describe as divine acts. What could possibly threaten people like you? I'm afraid that nobody on this ship can answer your question, traveler. In your eyes, we possess knowledge that many life forms in this universe would consider divine acts. But in this boundless cosmos, even we have limits to what we can explore and investigate. Are you disappointed? So there's definitively no eternal kingdom, a paradise where everyone can experience endless joy and happiness? I don't know if you're in the afterlife or not. Would you like such a place to exist? The goddess hesitates for a moment before nodding. Nothing lives forever. Looking back through the history I know, I have come across legendary civilizations that have conquered countless star systems, spreading across the cosmos for millions of years.
Okay, casually just expanding the world and universe of Arknights. Countless civilizations. Okay, legendary, different civilizations aside from the Terrans and the Ancients and the Elders and the Farenmits and... Okay, what's one more? What's a couple more legendary civilizations? But as far as the universe cares, what they left behind was, in the end, utterly insignificant. Okay, I can definitely tell. Low light. Bro. Low light, I see you. I see you, low light. This is your Endwalker, bro. When did this come out? Hold up. When did this come out in China? When did they start developing and writing this? Hold up. I just wanna see Dissociative Recombination. When did you come out in China? You came out in China 2020. Oh wait, no. 2025. So that was a couple of months ago. It was still 2025. Low light. I know you played Endwalker. The math tracks, the timing tracks. This is very Endwalker, low light. This is basically Meteon. We once blindly chased after non-existent principles and ideals. In the midst of that golden age beyond recollection, we believed our existences to have a sure purpose. But in the end, any life form born with intelligence insists on declaring itself the center of its world, but whether or not it is right in the universe's eyes. From start to finish, we are nothing. This is the first thing you must learn before you can understand it. Okay. Basically, Arknights Meteon, got it.
Remember that brilliant supernova you just saw? From that tomb, life will be born anew, and there will come a day when those beings will understand what we have carved on our grave. That we once had lives of our own, that we existed.
Okay, low light. Bro, this is 2FM14, dog. Remember us. Remember that we existed. Brother, this is an Emmett Cell quote. Low light, this is just Enfield. Enfield Endwalker? Hold up. I see you, low light. I see through you, I'm in your walls. I can tell which influences you wear clearly on your sleeve. This is Shadowbringers and Endwalker.
I don't understand anything that you're saying. How were we born on this land? Was there an even more glorious civilization here before us? Are we going to be wiped out in the foreseeable future? But what I really want to know is, all this pain and suffering that Originium brings with it, can it be eliminated? I beg you, show me the way to the answers I seek.
I can't answer any of your questions.
Your first three have been asked in a myriad of languages in a myriad of ways across the universe. Only you can answer them yourself. As for your final question, I'm terribly sorry, but I've never heard of this Originium, and I can't find anything related to it in our databases.
Huh? Huh? What? What? You're on a ship called Rhodes Island. When we saw the exterior of the ship, we saw an Originium-shaped thingy on top of it.
However, I do know someone rather interesting who also happens to be the master of this ship. Perhaps she will be able to solve your riddle.
She, her, master of the ship?
The master of this ship? She's a linguist of wide renown. Her name is...
Fade to black. Priestess. The master of the ship, known as Rhodes Island, is Priestess.
No time to be lost in your thoughts, Doctor. Grab onto me.
Did you see that, Amiya? What did we see?
I can't break my focus right now. Weaving together a way to the singularity is incredibly difficult. Even if Theresa were here to help. Did you see something, Doctor?
Wait, did we see that? Wait. Did Doctor see the scene that we just saw? But Hierda is a character from modern day. How can Hierda be in Doctor's memories? In the past? Oh, let's keep moving forward. Things will fall into place. You see a familiar figure.
Go, Doctor. Go solve your conundrums.
Wait! Full view! Full view of Priestess! Keep focusing, Amiya. Stick to the plan. Keep building that bridge.
I will. I'm doing everything I can to stabilize the connection points, Doctor. Theresa has marked all the records Dr. Kelsey searched through earlier. I'm trying to link them all together. But I still need an anchor point, one that can guide me back.
You need a totem? Inception bullshit. We need a totem? Hold up.
I will keep watch here and serve as your anchor. Press onwards, Amiya.
Okay, got it. Ugh! It's the Stargate! Well, it's the thing in our memories taking the form of a Stargate. Whatever that means, Pink, silken threads begin to gather. And it's above a planet. This is definitely... If this is how our Mind Palace... I just realized that. This is basically the form of Oracle's Mind Palace. It's a Stargate. It's a Stargate-shaped library of information. And I'm assuming this also exists in real life. Probably right above the Stargate in the north. Pink silken threads begin to gather. The meandering threads interweave and spiral, gradually spreading out from the boundary into the distance. Beyond its walls, the path to the singularity slowly takes shape.
It's working! Originium arts don't seem to work here, but applying the logic behind casting them to the information here does.
Whatever works. Can you build a bridge using completely unknown information?
No, this place is full of information I can't analyze. Not even with the help of Civilite Eterna. I wouldn't have been able to make this way forward alone. But thankfully, Dr. Kelsey's access left records. And with Theresa's help, I can grasp on her research data. That's more than enough for me.
The pink threads continue to slowly spiral, linking together the many pieces of complex data that Kelsey left her mark on. Or being guided by the invisible hand of both Theresa and Kelsey. String by interwoven string, the path forward gradually forms. I can tell how you're feeling, Kelsey. By analyzing the emotional matrix I constructed of you, without your permission, I see your tenseness is not only because of my sharing an appearance with Theresa. You have something even heavier on your mind. Yeah, this was when Kelsey deep dived into the Civilite Eterna. I will try to adjust. I don't want my personal emotional changes to interfere with the objectivity of those who come after me when they query these records. Yet they are still changing, Kelsey. Are you afraid? It's not the most efficient way to build a bridge, but it should hold. I'm going to try to get closer to the singularity. I'll go with you. Yes, I'm afraid. I'm afraid me and the doctor won't be able to find the information I leave behind, and I'm afraid that if the situation worsens to the point that they are forced to take such extreme measures, the trail I cleared for them would be no longer of use. Nope, Kelsey, she guided us the whole way through. Or that I might mistakenly lead these seekers of knowledge towards a threat I do not dare speak of. No, Doctor, I won't let you. Not before I check its condition myself. Amiya.
Sorry if I'm being stubborn about it, but this is my decision.
What? The bridge, formed from countless strands of entwined information, stretches out into the distance to touch upon the singularity. Without the slightest hesitation, Amiya steps into it, her first step outside the walls of the boundary. outside of Terra. We're stepping past the Mind Palace's boundaries. A surge.
This feeling, it's like the information has formed some sort of great wave, but why?
This is only the beginning, I'm afraid. The closer you get to the singularity, the denser the information will become.
It really is like Theresa said. The information here has mass. We'll most likely find greater resistance the deeper we go.
Oh, we need to come up with a better plan.
I can't maintain stability of this bridge this week. Going this deep has taken a greater toll than I expected. I need to keep going forward, as long as I follow Dr. Kelsey's beacons.
The Silver Mountains, the TCAS had what? The Silver Mountains, the TCAS had entered flit by her. The black shadow cast by the Theramet plunging into Icefield vanished momentarily. No shot. She sees more scenes fly past her as if she were fighting the current of the river of time. More and more incomprehensible, indescribable sights assail her mind. She does her best to block out the unending, chaotic stream of information.
Concentrate, Amiya, concentrate. Just keep focusing on Dr. Kelsey's beacons. Press forward. I just need to touch the singularity.
Fade to white. Meanwhile, back on Rhodes Island. Maybe I was mistaken. This doesn't seem like an Originium slug egg-shaped ship. But I was right, it had some sort of Originium-shaped thingy on top of it. Meanwhile, back on the other Rhodes Island. Silence. Amiya cannot even hear her own breathing. Wait a minute. Wait. If we're delving into memories, and if this is what we're seeing...
What is this place? That giant sphere is disintegrating?
We're seeing the exact moment where the ship is passing by this dying planet. Which means Hierda's on that ship right now. Which means Hierda traveled to the past. Which means the Rhodes Island ship and our Rhodes Island are technically the same ship. Because if it crashed into Terra, and then we excavated it from Rim Billiton, and then we renovated it to be... Oh, everything is falling into place. Looking at the shattered sphere makes her feel dizzy, but it is the bizarrely shaped ship floating in the air that causes an even greater bout of lightheadedness.
What is going on? Why am I seeing...
As she is trapped in her spell of dizziness, a rotating boulder slowly but inexorably hurtles towards her, an asteroid. Its black shadow quickly fills Amiya's vision. She subconsciously tries to defend herself, but it is immediately followed by the feeling of freefall. Did she fail? Was it a surge of information? Amiya! Doctor? I'm here. Amiya senses a hand supporting her, keeping her thoughts steady by bracing her. Try to block out the interfering information! Peak, Kino, Cinema, seen it. Sorry I couldn't sit back and do what I was told. Hopefully I'm not too late.
Doctor, thank goodness. That moment just now.
You do your best to support her shaking body as the information wave surging from the singularities continues its assault. The information so dense it has nearly taken true shape washes over your thoughts, leaving behind jumbled after images into the void. It is the past long gone, the present being recorded en masse in what seems to be the future foreseeing your next steps. Huh? Wait. It's a shame that right now you do not have the energy to spare to pay it any heed. The two of you have already made the long trek from the boundary to this point without even noticing, and now the singularity. The singularity is right in front of you.
Did you see that terrifying scene earlier, Doctor?
I did. I don't know what it means, though.
I'm certain it's not something that took place on Terra.
But at least it means we're getting close to the singularity. Even more information will show itself to us. Can you still keep going, Amiya?
Yes, I can.
You're well aware of the situation you are in right now, despite knowing it will have minimal effect. You still subconsciously stretch out your arm to try and shield Amiya. The attacks here are focused on your thoughts. I can handle it. I'll be the Vanguard. Vanguard Dr. Wen? I've got a lead on what we're here for. I've run the calcs on Kelsey's access records. You can read the key points from my mind. Found them.
Using Slumber Bridge as a filter, Dr. Kelsey conducted a total of 79,346 searches.
Slumber Bridge. Not the first time we've heard that term.
Although all the searches are related to Originium, according to your speculation, this data is not strongly related to its actual essential nature. If the results are restricted and give us nothing, doesn't the trail run cold here?
No. Kelsey retrieved the same entry over and over again. This in itself some information for us.
A repeated retrieval? Wait, can the infinitely looping code made from the repeat query count be deciphered too? You already know the answer, Doctor.
It's a familiar name. Perhaps it's a sign. Perhaps it's a warning.
I've never heard of this name. Neither you nor Dr. Kelsey has said it before.
Finally! Finally!
Priestess?
We've found our search query. Every time we faded to black with the black faded to white with a black text, that's been Priestess talking. Back when we entered her throne world /ship? Question mark?
Doctor, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
I'm afraid so. What are we seeing? Hey, yo! Priestess. With the original Rhodes Island logo. You have never seen this scene before, much less seen.
You're here, Doctor.
Is that me?
It took some time to refine your design for PRTS.
Wait, no, this is Oracle. It took some time to refine your design for PRTS. I thought you had gone to take rest.
No, I've been thinking about your words this whole time. There is no language that can describe God, as the existence of God itself cannot be understood.
You know that was just mindless chatter.
Suppose I take it as an axiom. With it as my starting point, would creating a language that can describe God mean we have the means to understand it?
Does the prospect not excite you?
Perhaps in the pursuit of the answer to this question, we have been going down the wrong path, trying to understand the nature of the universe with its own flaws.
You want to use the language wholly created by us to interpret the universe. A far too audacious idea, Priestess.
Is it?
Without any further hesitation, she traces out a perfect rhombus in the air.
Let's begin, shall we? What are they discussing, Doctor?
You have seen this woman before in the assimilated universe. She once accompanied you.
But I have faith, Doctor, that when you are truly confused by everything, you will remember the answers you seek were here all along. I will be here.
I'm afraid they're discussing Originium. Originium is the language that they created to describe God. Originium in itself can store information and reconstitute information. That's basically reality warping. If that's not God, I don't know what is. Hold up. The language that we created to describe God. And we know that the most important thing that both Priestess and Oracle created is Originium. The moment of truth, my ass, that was a that was a truth nuke. Okay. 15.8. Broken Echoes. If this treachery is a decision of conscious participation, what has caused you to fall into the abyss? What elusive hope has led you on this path of your own destruction? The scene plays out before you, but no matter how hard you try, you cannot get any closer.
Doctor, the person she's talking to, is that you?
I can't say for sure. It's Oracle.
I don't believe I'll be able to create a language that will allow us to derive the ultimate answer. Not by myself, at least.
I stand on the shoulders of giants, after all. From the base I put together with the greatest discoveries of our colleagues' respective fields, I will continue onward.
Oh wait, no, this is Priestess. I thought it was Oracle speaking.
From the base I put together with the greatest discoveries of our colleagues' respective fields, I will continue onwards.
Even if nothing will come of it in the end.
Of course, it wouldn't be the first time. Does it look like we have anything better to do while we quietly wait for the darkness to swallow us? Besides, I'm sure you won't say no to me, Doctor.
So, where are you starting your research from?
Priestess does not answer, electing to instead look at the faint dawn light peeking over the horizon. The one next to her does not bother her any further. The two of them simply stand aboard the deck. You look at her and subconsciously tell yourself she's pondering something again. Why did you think that all of a sudden?
What is it, Doctor?
I just zoned out. I don't think we'll be finding any more important clues here.
The information Dr. Kelsey wants isn't here?
This is most likely a fragment of history from before Originium was born. The first time we ever saw this scene was in Vigilo. And it was also locked by PRTS. These records were locked behind PRTS at the end of Vigilo. Based on what I experienced in the assimilated universe, at least.
Doctor, you mean what we're seeing right now is because you...
That's not all, I'm afraid.
Then that huge ship floating in the sky and the giant shattered sphere are also...
I'm not too sure what relation I have with them.
Well, we'll make it clear then. But since you're sure this isn't our main target, we should continue onwards.
What are we implying with the ship and the planet? We're seeing wherever Hierda is at, but that's supposedly in the past within Oracle's memories.
The singularity is right in front of us, but the bridge I built is reaching its limit. The information density here is too high, pressing onwards like drowning in a deep river. How are we going to find the information we need in all of this chaos?
Allow me. Your thoughts come infinitely close to the singularity, all while the near-physical deluge of information presses down on the two of you. While you yourself seem to adapt to the pressure, you sense a great strain on Amiya. You don't have much time. You pull out every keyword the priestess in the assimilated universe said, and quickly connect together every clue left behind by Kelsey. Calculate a new result as quickly as you can, then add a new condition. Continue this cycle until you have isolated the information you need. Your thoughts are like diving into an endless ocean of building blocks. What you need to do is not particularly
complicated. Find the blocks that are different, their surfaces, find the engraved with the words Kelsey left for you. I never forgot. I think we did it, Amiya. Hey yo, we're on the ship. Where are we?
We're on Rhodes Island. Rhodes Island of the past! Confirmed! Rhodes Island was a ship! Okay, so it wasn't the Imperiana Casdelia that we saw in the future. It was Rhodes Island of the past. Which means, how the fuck did Hierda get transported to the past? That's a big shocker.
But this place and our Rhodes Island are
completely different.
Dr. Kelsey once said the ship was excavated and rebuilt and had to be repaired before it could be used. Just what exactly has Rhodes Island gone through?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Looks like you're in good spirits today. I guess our efforts paid off.
Hey yo, it's Oracle! Without the Rhodes Island blue.
Were you scared waiting by yourself in the lab?
Primitive construct? Proud purring? No shot. Kelsey? Are we gonna get to see small Kelsey?
Good timing then. I'm currently trying to put together a model that reduces the loss of meta-information during transmission through special mediums. Can you try helping me do some calculations?
Restless twitching. Is this Kelsey in their monster form? In their primitive monster form?
Alright, that's enough. I terminated your process. You're to never harm your own core unit, even if an order comes from me or her. Protect yourself, AMA-10. Survival is an instinct the living are born with.
It's Kelsey! Stubborn purring.
At least your own emotional module is iterating quickly. Do you understand their language, Doctor?
I don't. Ignore the person and that thing by their side. What we need is somewhere else. What do you mean we should be ignoring small Kelsey? Primitive Kelsey.
You're right. Since Dr. Kelsey believed we would be able to find the key, she must have anticipated the language barrier. Look at the glass next to that person, Doctor. It's got writing written all over it.
Formulas?
It's a shame the development of Originium isn't going very smoothly. We're venturing into uncharted territory here. It's hard for the others to keep up with us. While I have been engrossed in debate with her more often than lately, our experimental progress has slowed.
Vigorous consolation.
No need to worry about us. This model's operational efficiency meets expectations. We might be able to cross the first hurdle on Originium's development. Oh right, Luz sent us a message. There's been a rare breakthrough in Kerula Arbor, and she'll be able to visit us again soon.
Lou? Kerula Arbor? Hey yo! The Seaborn Project! Heartfelt joy.
Looks like you're very well fond of her.
I mean, we need to write down those formulas. It's the formulas to Originium. It could have the cure. Well, we could probably reverse engineer the cure if we had the full formula for Originium.
I'm trying.
Something's interfering. My mind palace. Why'd you reduce the aspect ratio of my mind palace? What's happening? Is the bridge stability under attack?
Risa warned me about this. The Civilite Eterna's baseline logic trying to eliminate loopholes. Because we're trying to transcribe information from outside the boundary. Doctor, I don't understand what the characters in these formulas even mean.
Forget about understanding them, just record them! I'm memorizing them as best as I can too! The information of the boundary begins to reorganize. The loophole is being repaired and the scene you're witnessing begins to rapidly fade away.
I'd foreseen it, AMA-10. This model she and I developed together will succeed. I look forward to the day that the language's creation is truly complete.
Timely reminder.
EWDB221E synchronization is still underway. I know that. It's not like I forgot myself, right?
The speaker starts to fade away as well.
No matter where in this vast universe you came from, I bid you to witness the beacons we left behind. Remnants of a civilization now gone to eternal rest.
Wait, what? What do you mean? Bro? Time paradox? Past Oracle is aware of Amiya and Doctor? Looking back, what is going on? We're not just searching through memories, we're actually peeking through space and time?
Perhaps it will be our blessing and final gift of hope.
What do you mean you knew? What are you implying by giving us the formula? You begin to feel like that person is looking right at you. Oracle was so Giga Chat that they could they could tell otherworldly beings are peeking through time and space from the future? Oracle wasn't familiar with their game. Anxious murmuring.
You will see it come to be, AMA-10. I believe it's so.
The formulas are beginning to vanish. Beginning to vanish. Retreat while we still have the bridge. But I haven't. We can reconstruct them together. Massive attack strikes your thoughts, and you sense yourself falling. The last act of consciousness you remember is keeping Amiya as far as possible from the singularity, and that familiar figure. What's up, Civilite GPT?
Thank you for bringing Amiya back here. Now,
Leave. What? It is at this moment that the mental link between you and Amiya breaks. Your mind is so exhausted you do not remember anything that happened afterwards. The two of you leave Civilite Eterna. That's it? That's what we came here for? The formula to Originium? The information erupting from the singularity does not cease, and among the flow, there is an insignificant scene that has never been accessed since the day of its recording. In the quiet of space, a ray of light illuminates a field of stars, bringing with it darkness and a despair beyond doubt. When sensors tens of thousands of light years away receive the image of this star field from the distant past, the planets that these stars shed their light upon are already filled with graveyards and ruins. It has come. Is this it? Are we finally going to see the threat to all of reality that we've been building upon? That apparently we needed Originium for to fight against? The reason why Oracle had to off Theresa to continue the Originium program? It has come. Ray Distorter, you're the big bad? Did the presence tell you to use these words to defend her?
no. She never asked me to do such a thing when she left.
Then keep your wits around her. Don't let her confuse you. Because if you let down your guard thanks to her charm, she might put you in danger. That's how her people hunt. It's their instinct. Wait. What? As for the person you're looking for, Priestess, the master of the ship.
She's doing some important research right now. I'm afraid her consciousness is shuttling back and forth between various research locations in the starfield.
Wait, That's right. Back when Doctor visited Priestess in Limbo, she mentioned that Oracle and Priestess could project their consciousness across the universe. And that's why I initially thought that Priestess had a throne world where her main body stays. Starfield. Various research locations in this starfield.
It'll be very hard for you to have a moment with her if she's not willing. Gerda, are you so desperate to find her because you want to thank the person who rescued you?
How are you on the Rhodes Island of the past, Gerda? How did you get here, physically?
Not exactly. I understand that I'm in some fantastical place called the universe, and it's not the afterlife either. I even have a wild guess that my home of Terra might be somewhere out there in this universe. But the more I know, the more questions I have. I want to ask her. Why am I not dead?
Exactly.
Where exactly is my home, Terra?
The goddess looks out through the porthole at the stars in frustration. Perhaps it is because of her bishop and the rest of her fellow churchgoers are still praying for her back in her land, but she has no way to respond. She curls up against the wall, allowing the light of the stars to quickly sweep across her face.
It turns out you could see time passing by with your own eyes.
She has met many people aboard this ship, no matter if they were the respected hooded genius stuck to... Ray Distorter isn't the only thing on this ship! She met Doctor! She met Oracle!
Or the Wanderer of the universe who had survived ruination.
Wanderer of the universe who survived ruination, the presence, which is very creepily mimicking Mules's mannerisms. Their optimism and kindness have dispelled her initial fear, but she knows that she will never truly be one of the crew of this miraculous ship. Bro, she is in the past. She's met Oracle. She's about to meet Priestess, I think. But Ray Distorter isn't anywhere in the current timeline. What happened to Ray Distorter? What happened to my man's Ray Distorter? What if something fucked up happened to my man's Ray Distorter? What if they turned him into the law? Wait, hold up. Am I cooking? Originium space might break space-time? Shit. I can feel my brain expanding. What if Ray Distorter in the current timeline is actually the law? Hold up, wait. We're about to have Exia Altars event soon. Hold up, wait a minute. Am I cooking? Am I cooking? Are we gonna... Hold up. Okay. So, too much happened there. What the helly? What the actual helly? Bro. That was still a before. What's the after? Decompression syndrome. I wake up to sleep again and delay my awakening. I touch fate on what I cannot fear. I learn through the journey I must set out on. Huh. Okay. Okay. 59 after. Hey, yo! Administrator permission found. I think we're in the abyss. We're in the deepest part of Rhodes Island. That is the Doctor's sarcophagus. Or if we're still in the past on the ship, this is the abyss from the past. Prepare and reboot process from hibernation. 3, 2, 1. BRTS reboot diagnosis complete. Warning. Unauthorized third-party plugin found. Restore default settings. I got hiccups. I'm gonna take a sip of water before we continue. Admin key cognition signal verified. Restoring. Vital sign detection module activated. Automatically loading. Repair module. Repairing. Progress. Doctor? Amiya? Question mark? We're back in real life. We're back to the present. Doctor, I'm so relieved. You're finally awake. How long have I been out? The evacuation hasn't been smooth. Our neural link was abruptly severed, and it's hard to maintain stability due to the information impact at the boundaries. How are you feeling? I just woke up myself. Don't worry about me, I'm doing much better thanks to Theresa's protection. Good thing you never let go of my hand, or I would be even more worried. Don't go off on your own, Doctor. We need to stay in the emergency observation area that Dr. Kelsey set up. Oh, emergency observation area. That's why we're here. I thought that we were in a branch office. Is this a room where there are no cameras where PRTS can see? Is that it? It's a safe room. Kelsey, emergency observation area. Soon after we began, Dr. Kelsey cleared out an area that she is personally protecting in order to ensure our safety in Rhodes Islands. She didn't want any accidents to happen when we entered civilized Eterna. She knew! Of course she knew! I started preparing cognition baseline tests as soon as I confirmed that you're awake. Initial testing showed no obvious signs of damage for either of you. Diagnosing thought isn't quite as simple as diagnosing biological tissue, though. Further analysis will be required. Welcome back, Doctor. You look tired. A bit of distraction happened during your operation. I'll update you on the latest developments later. We found potentially useful information. Potentially useful is undercutting it. We found the formula for Originium. The first priority is to make sure that you're safe. Establishing a neural link through the Black Crown is extremely risky. I take it you've long crossed the boundary. Yes. Then my first duty must be to ensure your cognitive stability and biological health. I won't allow the mistakes of the past to be repeated, nor will I allow the continued existence of any potential threat to your life and safety. Follow me, Doctor. Are you angry? You'll need to do the cognition baseline test too, Amiya. First, though, get some rest. Alright, Dr. Kelsey. Can't Amiya come with me? That's not part of my plans, Doctor. I'll arrange for Amiya to be tested as soon as your tests are complete. Let's go. Why do I feel like this is an excuse to have a one-on-one? Is this testing equipment? A prototype that the medical department developed. Theresa and I designed it together. But the limitations of our understanding of cognition and perception have prevented it from being put into service as a way to measure cognitive stability. Under current circumstances, however, it's the most effective method available. Go inside the isolation pod, Doctor. Relax. I tried it myself and it won't cause any significant physical distress. Cognition pod. Anything else I need to know? No, just follow my instructions. I need to calibrate the machine first. Relax and do as I say and do not hesitate. Is this to make sure that Doctor didn't revert back to Oracle? Okay, we got contingencies. We got the Oracle contingency to make sure that Doctor doesn't turn back. Tell me your name, Doctor. Uh,
A good start. See the chronometer behind me? Count the time in silence and try to synchronize your counting with the ticking of its numbers.
I'm not sure what the point of this is. Okay, just silently count.
It helps reinforce your perception of reality. It's been 20 seconds. Are you feeling any discomfort?
Hard to say. Is the machine showing something abnormal?
Let's continue the calibration.
You didn't answer the question.
Are you able to continue to perceive Amiya in your consciousness?
Yes?
Likely residue perception from the neural link being severed improperly. Continuing with the calibration, do you agree with Rhodes Island's ideals?
It's an interrogation. Are you Oracle right now? Yes.
Good. We're almost done with calibration. Continue. You saw her at the cognitive boundary.
Yes.
As I expected. You're calmer than I thought you would be, though. Final question. Do you have doubts about the one who is like you?
No.
Looks like you formed your opinion. I will not comment on it.
What does that mean? What happened if we chose... What would happen if we chose yes? This is a did you recognize yourself in the mirror kind of question. If we answered yes, that would imply that we're a completely different person. And we would be like, who the fuck is that, bozo? That's not us. By saying no, we imply, oh yeah, I can put 2 and 2 together. That was definitely me. Ship of Theseus me.
We're done, Doctor. Cognition baseline testing indicates that your cognitive stability remains within safe values. The rest of it is secondary.
Wait, I thought it was calibration.
It was necessary to ensure that data collected is accurate. I trust that you're capable of perceiving my thinking and camouflaging yourself accordingly.
Huh? Wait.
It would not be hard for you to fool this prototype.
It's a lie detector? Is this part of the test too?
The remaining checks will be complete soon, Doctor. I have time to answer a few questions. You understand, of course, that there are certain questions that I am not in a position to answer.
What are the origins of Rhodes Island?
If you're referring to this ship, it's even older than the history known to me. In a sense, it's the carrier of hope, hence the comprehensive protective systems capable of supporting our every operation on Terra. It is thanks to this initial design that it survived the most brutal challenges with its core structure intact. We have yet to discover its full potential.
Huh. The Imperiana Casdelia. The bloodline of combat skin. Soon. Very soon.
However, I remain cautious about trying to unlock its potential in its entirety.
You seem nervous, Kelsey. This is the Ark. This is the Ark of Knights. The Ark of Tomorrow. The current uncertainty is not the only reason why you're nervous. It's us! It's Doctor! Oracle's dead. Don't give me those ellipses. I can't describe this strange intuition. I've never sensed such complex emotions from you.
I'm not the one getting tested.
You see your reflection in the window, almost as if you were still standing with Kelsey. Dang. Kino. Cinema. Cine. You look at your own reflection image but cannot help but recall the figure at the boundary who treated the construct with such kindness. Your gaze turns towards Kelsey. Can you put 2 and 2 together, Doctor? You could tell that AMA 10 is Kelsey, right? We've seen her operator logs. The redacted logs.
Why are you looking at me like this, Doctor?
Did you also put your utter trust in me?
I still do. You've proven yourself. Whatever you see at the boundary, Doctor, belongs to the past that is dead and gone. True. It is enough that you and Rhodes Island are walking on the proper path. You and I, we both have the right to our subjective definition of this relationship that exists between us. You don't need to be concerned about how I view you, not before, not now, not ever. I respect your understanding of our cooperation.
I'm sorry, Kelsey. I'm apologizing for my and Amiya's reckless actions. I know what to do next. I just have one more question, Kelsey. Who is Priestess? Perhaps it will be our blessing. Oh wait, no. This is about Originium. And the final gift of hope. I seem to sense good intentions behind those words. It means blessing and gift. You guided us to that one. Whoever it was, there is nothing fake about your trust. Then we have a lot of work to do. Meanwhile, back in the abyss. A regular shaped originium crystal emerges in the space. A short curved line appears on the corner of the crystal. Line expands into surface, then into a perfectly smooth sphere. It is an eye that observes this dimension. All it does is record that it sees. The organ that makes decisions has not fully escaped the originium. Until now. Perceive silently. Hey, yo! Why is it in the form of a reunion member? We got another Originium doppelganger? We're getting Trojan horsed. Hello? There are external entities forming on Rhodes Island!
Dr. Kelsey is determined that there is no major issue with me. But she was concerned about whether I was subject to any shock during the neural link.
She must have her concerns.
We should get on with analyzing the formulas you retrieved. Like I said, the abnormalities of PRTS persist. It's very likely that we'll be getting even more anomalies in short order.
Anomalies might be the worst, might be the least of our concerns. There are doppelgangers forming in the abyss. It hasn't been restored?
Closure has been trying to no avail. Deployment of the backup command system has begun, but it will take some time to synchronize it across equipment and individuals. As for the information you brought back from the boundary, I can help you decipher it. Do you understand its meaning? I'll have to see the formulas in their entirety to be sure.
You and Amiya attempt to reconstruct the words and formulas written upon the glass of the corridor by memory, written in a language that you do not understand.
Based on the context, I believe I can fill in the blanks here. Largely accurate, but there are still small errors here and there. Let me fix it.
It's like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. A very important jigsaw puzzle. The key to our future.
Thankfully, you were able to remember the last parts I didn't have time to. That should do.
You understand the meaning, Kelsey?
It's a here therefore unnamed model, the origins of which may be traced to a project by the name of Slumber Bridge. It was a radical project that attempted to employ a self-transcoding model in order to combine all possible realities and tangible, organic life into a single meta-reality.
Originium.
The project was ultimately a failure, but the experiments on digitizing matter were the predecessor to various subsequent research, including this model. It has proven to be incredibly efficient at reducing the loss of meta-information during transmission through special mediums and increasing data transmission efficiency.
Originium.
Now you're getting to the heart of the matter, Doctor. Originium is the medium used for information collection. It reformats the information and continues to propagate until its mission is accomplished. This model, likely the one used by Originium itself, could lead to major breakthroughs in Originium research and neuropathy treatment. I will decipher this information for classified archiving. Until its risks and uses are ascertained, however, it must not appear in any blueprint or storage medium that exists in reality.
What? Where are we gonna keep it then? We can't keep it in PRTS. We can't keep it in any logs because those are breachable.
Do you have something in mind, Doctor?
Do you remember the Originium Arc?
The project that Logos and Mechanist proposed after the war in Victoria? Boosting the adaptability and combatability of elite operators in high Originium environments with the use of external equipment. A radical idea and a difficult one to achieve. The current version, developed 2 years ago, represents the limit of what we are able to achieve.
Originium Arc. Now we've discovered a new possibility. You mean we could power up operators in high Originium environments by, instead of using casting modules, you use the Originium in the environment to boost yourself?
It's an excellent opportunity, but at the very least, it will allow elite operators to deal with the Originium threat with greater ease. It will need your help in the decipherment process, Doctor.
Something's exploding.
Thanks for the barrier, lifesaver. Be sure that Originium circuit has been properly set. I've checked it 3 times, it shouldn't fail. No semantical deviation. The circuits conform to the simulations. There should not have been any error. How about another possibility? It's not we who are wrong. There are no flaws in the blueprint produced by the Doctor and Dr. Kelsey. The incantation simulation's effective. What I mean is that there's something wrong with the material used in the Originium Arc itself. It seems to remember that Closure kept some good stuff in the warehouse. Bad idea. We've made enough of a mess in the engineering department as it is.
What are these two bozos doing messing with the Originium Arc?
Well, we're doing it on the orders of Doctor and Dr. Kelsey.
But how do we validate its effectiveness? Assuming that safety is assured, there is one ideal candidate for testing.
One ideal candidate for testing? Effectiveness of elite operators using the Originium Arc? Rosmontis? Blaze?
Doesn't feel like there's been any real change in strength.
How about you go harder? Oh my god, I was right. Oh my god! Rosmontis alter soon? They're powering Rosmontis up?
It's not entirely up to me, Radian. According to the statute of experiment, I can only increase the synchronization between Originium Arc and Rosmontis in steps. It's not just to protect you, Blaze. It's to protect Rosmontis as well. Yeah, of course. I know. I just wanted to test its limits as soon as possible, because Dr. Kelsey said this was urgent. How about you, kitten? I can control it.
Rosmontis alter soon?
No problem. I'll check the risks and I'll keep the risks in check.
Or those are the modules? You mean her slabs? Rosmontis' slabs? But they said they only started developing this 2 years prior to current day. And that's still after the Londinium arc. Rosmontis already had her slabs back in Chernobog.
Radiant, be ready to override the Originium circuit at any moment and disconnect Rosmontis' control. Nothing keeps one on edge like working with you. How long will it take to finish the preparations, Dr. Kelsey? Assuming that the Doctor and I can complete the decipherment as quickly as possible and isolate a functional technical blueprint.
36 hours.
It's cutting things too tight. There are numerous key points in this technology that are virtually impossible for us to achieve.
The surest ways to fail is to not try. You mean the modules that upgrade operators? What? You're right. Wait. The Originium Arc program are the modules? The surest way to fail is to not try. With the Black Crown, I should be able to help. We must explore any avenue to gain advantage for Rhodes Island. Perhaps it will make an impact in the not-so-distant future. We actually have in-story explanation to why modules power up operators. Meanwhile, back in the past, the goddess feels like she has slept for a long time. Her gaze is lost in the stars of deep space, but they offer no guidance as to where home is. She refuses to give up until she falls asleep from exhaustion. Then the light rouses her, and she opens her eyes. There's no one around her. You are lost. It has been a long time since this place had a new visitor. Or are you the last survivor of the ruined planet? Is this Oracle?
The voice of a ray distorter? But why?
In any case, welcome. Who is this? Is it Ray Distorter? I don't think it's Ray Distorter. I think it's Priestess.
Come, seek me.
She remembers this scene. She should have died after disintegrating, but light rushed into her eyes again. She came to this place, the domain of gods. It all happened again.
How could this be?
She looks out of the porthole in terror and sees the dead planet. Roaming through the ship, she encounters that being by the name of Ray Distorter once again, and the presence that gazes upon death, alone in deep space. Every trace that she has ever here has disappeared. Yostar.
No. Am I still dreaming? This is not a dream. But it's not reality either. You were looking for me, weren't you?
The goddess sees a hand reach towards her and take hers. Like the hand that held hers when she disintegrated. Was it Priestess that picked her up from death? She saw God. Well. Oh, there's no story on this one. And then it continues off in 11. Okay. That is where we are ending story reading for now. We got so many revelations. We got so many bombs set off. So many lore bombs. Yeah. Rhodes Island. The spaceship was the Rhodes Island of the past. Somehow, Hierda got pulled there from present day by Priestess. Also, looking through the Black Crown allowed us to pierce space and time. And Oracle gave us the formula to Originium. There's so many things. There's so many things going through my mind right now. Also, backstory on modules? The Originium Arc program? That's cool. We got an in-game explanation for that. Anyway. Yeah. Things are unraveling. For sure. We sort of got our final goodbye scenes between Monster and kal'tsit. Come on, though. I still don't believe. Anyway, we searched through the memories of Oracle, found what we apparently needed, got back out, and now we're preparing for the worst. Because now, there are doppelgangers forming within the abyss inside Rhodes Island. It's only a matter of time before shit hits the fan, and we're gonna need to defend Rhodes Island from otherworldly entities that Priestess seems to be calling in. But that'll be it for now. Tomorrow, we will be doing some more MonsterCon Sundays as we discuss some big news about Monster Prom 5. Next weekend, we will continue our story reading, same time, same place on Saturday. But until then, my name is Nez and thanks for watching. I'm gonna see you, friendos, next time for the continuation of our story reading of episode 15, Dissociative Recombination. Bye-bye, friendos.